Savage Dragon 1/2 from March of 1997. Numerically, it should come between issue 0 and issue 1, but the story takes place after the events of issue 33 and before the Mars attacks stuff that I was about to try and cover. But Christ, look at all that. There's no way. So here we are. Anyway, this is a promotional gimmick sold through Wizard Magazine. And, you know, Wizard Magazine was the most popular comic magazine of the time, outselling most of the comics that it covered. Love it or hate it, you know, Wizard was a good place to get eyeballs on your comics. So Erik Larsen agreed to do an interview in issue 68 for an article with this electric blue Superman cover. And the electric theme continues. Shock treatment. Erik Larsen often crosses the line in his Savage Dragon series, but has he gone too far? So this article focuses on the graphic and controversial content of Savage Dragon. I'll quote Erik Larsen here. It struck me that comic books have really lost that edge they used to have. Now video games have people ripping each other's heads off and pissing down their necks, and comics seem tame by comparison. I like comics having a little more edge. So preach, brother. I also like comic books that have an edge to them, which is why I was reading Savage Dragon in 1997. And, you know, when other companies would try to imitate Image Comics and their cool factor, especially the big two, you know, they would try and redesign their characters to make them extreme or add spikes to their shoulder pads or some shit. And that always failed. There was no authenticity. So, anyway, nice interview here with Erik Larsen. And then the payola in the next issue, 69. Very nice. We get the offer for Savage Dragon 1/2. Jump on the dragon wagon. Don't be a dork. Fill out the form. Stuff it in an envelope along with a $3 check or money order. No cash accepted. And then there's also the variant platinum edition you can get with a subscription to Wizard Magazine for $30. Offer expires June 16th, 1997. Allow 8 to 12 weeks for delivery. And then this baby shows up in your mailbox with a certificate of authenticity. Look at that bad boy. Signed by Erik Larsen and Gareb Shamus. The usual credits, including Josh Eckhorn, who also reads Wizard Magazine. It's telling you something there. So in this short story, Dragon and Rapture are mourning the death of their infant son, and she is rightfully pissed at the dragon for the way he handled her pregnancy. You know, he accused her of cheating, moved out of her apartment, denied that the child was his. Total asshole. And he kind of owns up to his mistakes here. And she sort of forgives him, but their relationship is over. And as he leaves, he's attacked by another one of these leeches. He's been possessed by one of these things before, and he went on like a deadly rampage. But this time he manages to fight for control, and he squishes the leech, leaving it laying in the snow. And then we get another story here, a retro Mighty Man comic, and his battle against the Wicked Worm. And Josh Thompson is the artist here, and I love this Captain Marvel Shazam style. And speaking of Captain Marvel, one of his villains is the inspiration for this story. Mr. Mind is a worm villain that can control people's minds. You know, sounds familiar, right, to this stuff. And but here, Wicked Worm learns that he can replicate himself by splitting into 2 worms and then into 4 and so on until he becomes the Horde, the villain who tried to control Savage Dragon way back in, you know, issue 17 or whatever. So it all ties back together. Very well done. There's an ad for issue 40. We are not there yet. And plus a little sketchbook feature in the back with some of the preliminary artwork for the issue. You know, overall, it's a pretty nice package. Man, there's just a hell of a lot going on in 1997 for the Savage Dragon. All this Mars Attacks stuff, Plus, there's a martial law that we're going to be looking at some point. But I think the next episode will have to be sex and violence.